so I wanted to talk about solutions to mounting your rooftop tent on top of your vehicle, whether it's a truck or excursion, and you live in a neighborhood like this where all the driveways are slanted. So here's my solution. This guy right here, man, this tent is dirty. So this is a Hoist-A-Cart Generation 2. So these guys are adjustable. You just pull that pin out, the neck comes and folds down in place and rests on there, and also it has an extension. You can adjust the height on it. Of course, I got to pick it up all the way on this and get a little creative when it comes to lifting it up, but these things are pretty solid. His tent's pretty heavy. So essentially what I do is I block it up here in the bottom to lift it up to get it even, so I can get it on top of there. But I'll show you once I got it up in the air how stable this is. It's actually pretty nice. All right, so we'll check it out here in just a second. What we did, we braced this up a little bit to pick it up, and the reason why I have to do that is because of the angle of the drive. Since it comes down, two things: this is not tall enough, and it actually causes the weight of this will cause this to tip over that way. So counterbalance it like this actually works out well, and it holds together very well. So I put a few blocks in there. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 needed on each side, but I guess we'll find out. So anyways, I also have this spreader bar that I bought from Harbor Freight, and I got a little attachment in here. This actually came with the hoist, and this came with the hoist, and this I bought, like I said, from Harbor Freight. So putting the spreader beam in there will actually get rid of the sag that you have when you pick these tents up, because if you were to do it with just straps, you'd have like a lot of sag and you'd lose all your height on top of that. So this helps to eliminate that. So anyways, we're gonna hoist this up in the air, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so let's look at this real quick before I lift it up and balance it out. As you can see, that spreader beam took out all the slack that's normally associated with straps, and it's really nice, works really well. And this thing's holding on, it's solid, it's not going anywhere. So I'm essentially gonna turn it this way, and then I'll balance it out. Once I get up top, I'm probably gonna lay it back down and kind of shift the beam over just a little bit to get it centered. But a lot of times you can just turn it this way and it'll center. All right, so let's get this centered up and get it up top. There we go, we got it up in the air. As you can tell, that spreader beam has maintained its tension, and I ended up putting some more blocks there. I could technically put 2 more in there if I wanted a little bit more height. But once you get it up there, I mean, you can move it around, do whatever you can do with it. It's pretty solid. The thing's not gonna break. Make sure you got straps that are rated for a good amount of weight, even though these tents can weigh upwards to 200 pounds. The static load versus dynamic load makes a huge difference on these straps. So most of them are rated for dynamic load, or they'll say working load, which is dynamic load. So anyways, that's what it looks up on top. At this point, I'll have to back up the truck as far as I can and probably get a little help pushing it on top of the rails. All right, let's get it up there. So this unfortunate thing is that you can only get this close with this, but that's why you get your neighbor over there to come help you. So if I was doing it by myself, which I've done it before, I just have someone crank, well, that actually wouldn't be by myself. I crank it down a little bit at a time and just kind of snug it forward and crank it down more and snug it forward until it gets on top. And if you're doing something like this, it would be better if you had either some kind of platform or the rails to go on, because if those edges hit your roof, you're going to put some nice gashes in the roof. But anyways, let's get this thing mounted on there. All right, so we got it up top. Had my neighbor help me slide it on there. So all I got to do is get my anchors put in there, and by anchors I mean these guys buy a wheel every day. Best locks I ever had. They go right on top of the rails, and they're definitely a theft deterrent. I mean, I've heard of people's tents getting stolen, but with these guys, they're not even going to bother, man. These are solid. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and anchor this down and get this truck loaded up so we can go do some overlanding this weekend.